The new Future Fair from Fashion Dreamer is live now. You can find it by going over to the menu and down to Future Fair. It says that the event is going to be live until May 1st at 10:59 p.m. That's Eastern time. That'll show up in your own time zone for you. So in Volume 1, we need to like an item worn by a player muse, follow a player muse you met in the cocoon, make a look at for a player muse, and like an item marked with a blue star in the pop-up area. To follow a player, go up to them, hit the R for actions, over to their profile, and then you can follow them from there. After completing Volume 1, you'll be rewarded with mismatched socks with garters, ribs calf socks, and 20,000 E-points. In Volume 2, we need to like an item worn by a player muse, like an item worn by a character muse, send a stamp to an item marked with a blue star in your item box, and make a look at for a player muse. So just hit ZR on any of the items in your item box that have that blue star that were made by another player and send a stamp. And for Volume 2, we'll be rewarded with a photo egg frame for Act, the What's Up pose, and 5 tickets. In Volume 3, we need to go to someone's showroom, send a like in someone's showroom, send a stamp to a muse who made a showroom, and follow a muse who made a showroom. Then in Volume 3, we'll be rewarded with a futuristic wall, futuristic floor, and 30,000 E-points. In Volume 4, we need to like an item worn by a player muse, like an item worn by a character muse, send a stamp to all items of an outfit coordinated by a player, and make a look at for a character muse. One of the character muses made this for me, and in Volume 4, we'll be rewarded with the subculture style shorts with belt, nylon cargo pants, and 5 tickets. In Volume 5, we have to send a stamp to an item marked with a blue star in the pop-up area, make a look at for a character muse, send a stamp to a player muse in the cocoon, and make a look at for a player muse. Finish Volume 5 and we'll be rewarded with photo egg frame from Act, 50,000 E-points, and 20 keys. In Volume 6, we need to make a look at for a player muse, follow a muse who sent feedback, like an item worn by a character muse, and like an item worn by a player muse. To follow a player muse who sent feedback, click ZL and then R to see feedback from players. On any of these, click ZR, go over to their profile, and you can follow them from here. And then once we complete Volume 6, we'll be rewarded with the nylon jacket pattern, 50,000 E-points, and 5 tickets. In Volume 7, we need to go to someone's showroom, send a like in someone's showroom, send a stamp to an item displayed in someone's showroom, and follow a muse who created an item. And then in Volume 7, we'll be rewarded with the futuristic screen, a futuristic table, and 5 tickets. In Volume 8, we need to send a stamp to an item marked with a blue star in the pop-up area, like an item marked with a blue star in the pop-up area, send a stamp to someone in your world, and follow someone in your world. To follow someone from your world, go over to the menu down to your world. If you click on someone who doesn't have the 2 little people icon, you can go over to their profile and follow them from there. If you don't have any of those, you can see how the 2 little people icon pops up right there. You can also unfollow and refollow, and that'll count too. And then in Volume 8, we'll be rewarded with the photo egg frame for love, the tongue out pose, and 30 keys. In Volume 9, you need to set up a hot item in the item box, send a stamp to an item marked with a blue star in the pop-up area, follow a muse who created an item, and like an item with a blue star in the pop-up area. Once we finish Volume 9, we'll be rewarded with the oversized subculture style jacket, 50,000 E-points, and 10 tickets. For Volume 10, you'll follow a player you met in the cocoon, send a stamp to a player muse in the cocoon, send a look at request to someone from your world, and send a stamp to someone in your world. And when you complete Volume 10, we'll be rewarded with the Type 93 eye color, 30 keys, and 10 tickets. For Volume 11, we have to like an item worn by a player muse, make a look at for a character muse, make a look at for a player muse, and send a stamp to all items of an outfit coordinated by a player. To send a stamp to an outfit, go up to a player muse, hit Y so you're viewing their outfit, then ZR and send a stamp. And then for Volume 11, we get a repeat. One of the single-use patterns are mismatched socks with garters, a photo egg frame for Act, and 100,000 E-points. In Volume 12, you need to like an item marked with a blue star in the pop-up area, send a stamp to an item marked with a blue star in a pop-up area, follow a muse who created an item, and make 3 lookits for player muses. When you complete Volume 12, you'll be rewarded with another single-use pattern of the rib cap socks, a photo wig frame for Act, and 10 tickets. In Volume 13, we need to like an item worn by a character muse, make a lookit for a player muse 2 times, make a lookit for a character muse 2 times, and send a stamp to a player muse in the cocoon. When you complete Volume 13, you'll be rewarded with a second single-use pattern of the subculture style shorts with belt, 100,000 E-points, and 40 keys. For Volume 14, we need to make a lookit for a player muse 3 times, send a stamp to a player muse in the cocoon, like an item worn by a character muse, and like an item worn by a player muse. When you complete Volume 14, you'll be rewarded with a second single-use pattern of the nylon cargo pants, photo wig frame for love, and 100,000 E-points. In Volume 15, you need to like an item worn by a player muse, follow the player who coordinated all items of an outfit, make a lookit for a player muse, and send a stamp to all items of an outfit coordinated by a player. So in order to do those 2, go up to a player muse, hit Y so you're looking at their outfit, hit ZR so you can send a stamp, and then hit ZR again, go over to their profile, and you can follow them from there. When you finish Volume 15, you'll have a second pattern of the nylon jacket, 10 tickets, and 45 keys. In Volume 16, you need to make a lookit for a player muse 3 times, send a stamp to an item marked with a blue star in the item box, like an item worn by a character muse, and like an item worn by a player muse. And remember, when you're making those lookits for player muses, you can also use the lookit requests in your inbox. And then on Volume 16, once you've completed it, you'll be rewarded with a second pattern of the oversized subculture style jacket, 10 tickets, and 45 keys. And now that all volumes are complete, we can also claim the final rewards. So don't forget to pick these up. You have 75 keys, the new hairstyle that's pigtails with cat ear headphones, and 30 tickets. And remember, we have the free Heart Buds pattern as well. And that's everything in the Future Fair and Fashion Dreamer. Hopefully this helped you complete your collection. We also have a number of new patterns that were added to the gacha machines and to be able to be unlocked with keys. Those may be coming in another video. Subscribe for more Fashion Dreamer and Cozy Gaming content, and turn on notifications to find out the next time we go live. Hope to see you there.